Hi, my name is Nguyen, and I'm a senior communication studies major at the College of Wooster. Last summer, I was a participant of the Shepherd Higher Education Consortium on Poverty, and the Shepherd program matched me with the United Planning Organization for a summer internship on anti-poverty and anti-poverty work. It was a remote internship, but my host organization, UPO, is in Washington, D.C. And today I'm going to be talking about my experience, what I learned, what were my goals, and how did this experience shape my academic and professional goals. First, let me talk to you a bit about my host organization. So the first organization is the Shepherd program. And basically, the Shepherd program match undergraduate students with organization for summer internships. And the Shepherd will provide academic learning during their 8-week internships on poverty and anti-poverty intervention. So the Shepherd program matched me with the United Planning Organization in Washington, D.C. UPO is a large agency that does anti-poverty work in Washington, D.C., and they have services and programs in a variety of sectors. Specifically, I was working for the Office of Early Learning, and the main goals of the OEL of UPO is to operate early Head Start program for children from birth to age 3 in Washington, D.C. from families that are low income and have trouble accessing early education opportunities. And in this slide, you will see that I leave like a two-way arrow, and that might be confusing to you because technically it should be one way from Shepherd to UPO since Shepherd is matching me with UPO. However, during my 8-week internships with UPO, the Shepherd program continued to provide me with academic learning and opportunity to connect with the other interns to learn about poverty and anti-poverty work and the research that has been done on these topic. So throughout this experience, it's a very unique experience where I have the opportunity to learn about poverty, to have academic coursework on poverty, and then I apply it to my experience as UPO, but also use my experience as UPO to inform my academic learning. So it's a very unique experience that the Shepherd program offers. And because I have two host organizations, I also have two sets of goals different for each of the organization. So first, for Shepherd, the first goal is to learn about poverty academically and professionally. For instance, all the Shepherd interns are grouped into what we call a professional learning cohort that meets weekly. And during this meeting, we will be guided by one of the director of Shepherd, where we talks about what are the research that we have, we reflect upon our experience. So we have that learning part that we do weekly. And the second part, the second goal for the Shepherd program is career guidance and exploration. I remember one of the homework we did for Shepherd was to look for a job description of a position that has an anti-poverty perspective, and then we get to create our own job description. And the Shepherd program is not aiming for us after our internship to know exactly what we want to do, but it is only to help us realize that there are many different options for us when we're in our careers to do anti-poverty work and to be an activist for anti-poverty in the future work companies or position that we will be in. And for UPO, the first goal I have is to do qualitative research on racial and income equity or lack thereof in Washington, D.C. My position was called racial equity analyst, and what UPO is interested in is what are the gaps in opportunities, was specifically for my work, what are the gaps in opportunities to access high quality early education opportunities. And so I did qualitative research on this. I looked up website, I got into contact with organizations that are for early education providers that are for profit, and I looked up their website, I analyzed their website, but I also conduct focus interviews with staff from UPO to learn about what are the gaps in what are the different gaps in opportunities for access for those who have more resources compared to those that UPO mostly works with for the customer of UPO. And the second goal of the UPO internship is for me to provide recommendation to improve their services. So from my research, what are the recommendations that I have for UPO to improve their services, to provide a service that that is as high quality as those offered by for-profit entities. And I have, in terms of outcomes, I have both the immediate outcomes of the things that I worked on, also the learning outcomes, the professional outcomes of my professional development. So first, talking about the direct outcomes, I wrote a 30-page paper on language equality and on my research, but this will also include a plan for a UPO panel to talk about inequality and inequality in access to high quality education, or high quality early education. And I presented this research in front of 40 plus manager in a virtual meeting to all the managers at UPO, and I received a lot of praises and commendation from even the CEO herself. And the professional learning outcomes, so I used to double major in communication studies and elementary education. But after this internship, I realized that I don't really want to be a teacher, but I want to be involved with education. I want to learn about what are the differences in terms of policy. How does that impact student? How does that impact teachers? How does the system of education work in different parts of the world, or in different parts of the United States even? So this internship has helped me realize my academic interest and also professional interest, but also this internship opened my eyes to anti-poverty work and the complexity of doing social work and addressing these problems that we have, and thinking about intersectionality when we're working in anti-poverty in the fields of anti-poverty work. Here, I'm going to talk about some of the tips for like other students who are interested in participating in a similar experience. So first of all, I realized that being a Shepherd interns have very diverse experiences. For me, I really enjoy the academic learning of Shepherd because I was in a different country when I was doing this remote internship, and there was a time difference. So my director was amazing in being flexible with my hours, and I get a chance to work individually with the director of Shepherd, with my director of Shepherd, to address the exact problems that I'm facing in my internship. So the academic learning part was amazing for me, but I know that for some other Shepherd intern, they prefer the experience with their organization than the academic learning. So diverse experiences, it's very diverse. So I can't really say for all the Shepherd intern what this experience is about. And the second tips is prepare to be challenged. I initially want to write prepare to learn, but then I realized that during this internship, I learned most through the challenges that I face. The challenges are varies, like with communication with other people, with navigating the virtual space, and especially with learning about the inequalities that are happening and affecting large number of people. And I am only sitting behind a computer and doing my research, and I'm already affected by all of the things that I see and read about and learn. There are Shepherd interns who works in person, and they go to these places and they do this amazing work, and they are even more challenged than what I experienced. So if you're considering to pursue a similar experience, be prepared to be challenged. And so going off of that, remote Shepherd is very different from in-person Shepherd, I believe, because I think when you're remote, you don't. Well, if I'm in person, right, and I'm going to my organization, there are more opportunities for you to socialize with the people in your organization, getting to know them better. Maybe you meet them when you're walking to your desk and you say hello and ask about their day. But being remote, you only meet them in the meetings that you're supposed to meet them, and it's harder to make connection. It's harder to socialize, but you have to be prepared to navigate all of those challenges if you're considering a remote opportunities. And finally, if you're a College of Wooster student, Apex is pioneering a similar experience to the SHECP program. So the College of Wooster is not going to be a part of the SHECP program anymore. So you have to be an affiliated institution to participate in the SHECP program. But the College of Wooster is not doing that anymore because our Apex is pioneering a similar experience, but it will be locally in Worcester, working with a local organization and having that academic learning from the professor in the College of Wooster, which I think will be an amazing opportunity. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this is helpful for you. And if you have any other question, please attend an Apex info session or email apex@worcester.edu. Thank you so much.